to the cloud. Okay, thank you everybody for joining us today, and I hope that we will have a really interactive time and really beneficial. It will be a very beneficial webinar for you all. I would like first to ask you to get a paper and a pencil or a pen handy, because we will do some exercises that will require you to write down. So make sure that you have paper and pencil handy. Okay. And today's session, we are going to talk about facilitating client growth. Okay. And it is the 8th competency of the ICF competencies. Hello, Allah Ghada. Thank you, Ghada, for joining us. Okay. Walaikum assalam. But first of all, who am I? For the people who first time to join us, my name is Suhair Al-Haj. I am an executive coach and career coach and team and group coach and a coach mentor. I have an MBA. I am a PCC also, and certified career practitioner, career service practitioner from the NCDA, the American NCDA. Okay, and if you like to, it would be my pleasure if you would like to connect with me on LinkedIn. I just sent you my LinkedIn account, so we can stay in touch. And my email and my phone number, I will share it also in the chat if you like. Okay, and for today, what we did before, we covered all the 7 competencies. Are you familiar with all the 8 competencies? Today we will talk about the 8th, but how familiar are you with the competencies? Anybody? Would you like me to share? I will share it with you in the chat, the documents in both Arabic and in English, the competencies, the 8 competencies. Okay. And there is also code of ethics that we have to also, it is part of our practice as coaches. So today we're going to talk about facilitate client growth. For us as coaches, how can we facilitate client growth? Okay, but first, when we started this series, what was your goal that made you join us? Or if you would like to answer in the chat, what do you want to accomplish by attending this session? Feel free either to take the microphone or write in the chat, answer one or both of them. It's up to you. Anybody? Elevate my coaching skills.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, MJ.
In my case, I'm looking at post-coaching sessions when we do about 8 to 10 of them, and how does the client sustain the benefits of coaching and not revert back to old behaviors, and how can that help growth? Very often we coach for a specific problem or for a situation or for reaching this potential. What happens when the coach disengages after the contracts? So this has been bothering me a little bit. So I'm looking at how can I continue to facilitate client growth after the end of the coaching agreement.
After the ending of the coaching contract, you mean?
Yes, coaching contract, yeah.
Okay.
What should I do? What should I do prior to the ending of the coaching contract, which will help in sustaining the growth for the client? That's what I'm looking at.
Okay. That's a very good question. Update everything about the competencies, understand the coaching competencies from different perspective. What else? Hello, Abalola. What else?
To be sure and know I'm conducting a successful and beautiful coaching session with the client and to have a perfect outcome from him. Which will lead to more clients, because my client, he will be at my marketeers. It's a word of mouth. Plus, I will start to feel that the return of investment that I got from the investment that I already invested in during the journey of my coaching. Yes.
Okay. When you say perfect coaching session.
Okay, when I said, maybe it's not the right word to say perfect, but at least that I'm covering all the compensation, everything. I'm following the session rules and I'm not missing anything. Of course, I know the sessions, it goes according to the client's flow. I totally understand, but at least I have a benchmark in my mind as a mindset, as a coach mindset. Plus that I try to follow everything, not to miss anything, to have a successful session and to give the client that I understanding him, I understand him, I've heard him, I'm catching up everything, the breath, the eye contact, everything. And you know, it's a satisfaction for both parties. Yeah.
Okay. Just to clarify something, there is no perfect session. And even MCCs, I have attended sessions for MCCs, okay? And they miss some of the competencies, okay? And I did, it was one of the trainings we did as mentors. We attended coaching sessions done by mentors. And we assess the recorded session, and they miss some competencies. Nobody is perfect, and there is no such thing as a perfect coaching session. Nobody can cover all the competencies in one session. Okay, for sure you will miss one or two. Okay, even MCCs have missed one or two. But that doesn't mean they are they have to redo it or they are failures or no, you don't have to cover all the competencies in one session. That's impossible.
Yes,
that's literally impossible to cover all the competencies in one session. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said perfect. It's not the right word that I used, but at least when you missed something or when you make the revision for this session, you will be aware that you didn't cover this and that, whatever. Again, the coaching session, it goes up. It's about the client. It's not about us, and the flow, it's led by the client. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not about us. It's not about the coach. It's always about the client. We have always to remember this. It's not about us. It's not about you. It's about the client. It's always about the client. Okay. So, let's see. It is really necessary to focus on a successful session. Will it not be more important to focus on an increasing level of awareness in the client and his or her progress toward his or her solution? So maybe one or two sessions may not cover all competencies exactly. Okay. But the overall coaching journey could be beneficial to the client. Exactly. Exactly. That's what we are talking about. Thank you, MG. Okay. And by the way, my name is Suhair, not Miss Suhair, not Coach Suhair, not Dr. Suhair. I hate titles. I'm not a title person. Just call me Suhair. Okay. Coach is a profession, not a title. For me, it's a profession, not a title. So please call me Suhair with no titles. Okay. Good evening. So, what does the facilitating client growth means? According to ICF, this is the definition in both Arabic and in English, which means partners with the client to transform learning and insight into action, promotes client autonomy in the coaching process. What are the key words here that catch your eyes? Feel free to speak, to take the mic, or to write in the chat.
I would say transform learning into action. Yeah.
Okay. What else? What are the key words here? The main key words.
I might add promote the استقلالية بالعربي.
Yeah.
So the independency, and it's coming from the coachee rather than from the coach.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Ismail. Yes, Ibrahim. Want to say something?
Good evening to all of you. Long time not seeing you.
Welcome back. Yeah, Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak to you all. First of all, the partner and the client is the one the word that really keyword that catch my attention, which is if we go back to other competencies. This one, as we said last time, it's repeated more than 13 times on these competencies.
Exactly. Partner.
Yeah. So promoting the client autonomy also. This is very, very key word. This client autonomy. Because and this is one of the challenges actually that I myself face with some of the clients, because they keep asking me, what do you think? What's your opinion? How could I do that? So this is one of the challenges sometimes I face with some of the clients.
Yes, that's a challenge we all face as coaches, because some people will ask, some clients will ask, like, what do you think? What should I do? So there are techniques, a lot of techniques to get out of this situation, or how to answer this question without giving advice, without direction, and promoting clients' autonomy. Okay, so transform learning into action. Exactly. I asked you in the beginning to get papers and pencils. So if you don't have one, I'll give you a minute. Grab a pencil, grab a paper, because you are my clients for today. Okay, putting the responsibility in the hands of the client. Exactly, Nisreen. تحريك رغبة المستفيد في البحث ولبس استبصار بدافع ذاتي، وهي أساسية في تعلم الكبار، وبدونها لا يتعلم أحد. Yes, غادة. Okay, قلم وورقة. يلا. 1 minute and we will start. Grab a pencil. You are my clients for today, right? I'm your coach now. And we will do an exercise or a tool. Let's say you are my clients. Okay. I will use this tool to demonstrate this competency. And I need you. ينفع بنوت الجوال. Anything, even in your mobile note, anything that ولو إني بفضل I prefer that you write, use pencil and paper because you're gonna do a lot of reflection. So it's better that you write it down. Okay, so you can go back to it easily, you can erase and write, but if you feel comfortable writing on your mobile notepad, that is fine with me. Okay, Yasin, ready? 1, 2, 3. Now, if I ask you, you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah, I prefer that you mute yourself. So let me just mute everybody. Oh, where is it? Okay, because I need you to concentrate. Okay. Now, if I ask you, which image represents your current coaching journey? أي صورة بتمثل رحلتك حالياً؟ رحلة الكوتشنج حالياً. Which image represents your coaching journey right now? You don't have to share if you don't want to. Choose an image. Now, why does this image represent your coaching journey? Does anybody want to share? Even in the chat, if you like, if you don't want to take them out, to open them up. You don't have to, but Zoom user, Zoom user.
Well, I can.
Yeah.
I can share mine. I don't know if I'm.
Yes.
If you can hear me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think number 3 represents my journey the most. It's like it's promising. It's green. It's beautiful, and yet there are levels and stairs. Always there are like steps to take steps to learn more, to go forward. So I think it's the only image with the stairs. So that represents my journey.
Thank you, Mary. Zoom user, Zoom user, please can you please use your names so I could call you Yusra. Just briefly, Yusra.
Yes, hi everyone. Aidukum Mubarak. I choose picture number 23 because it's very there is a light and flowery, and I don't know, it reflects me, Mom.
Okay.
With all the colorful.
Ibrahim.
Yeah, I chose number 14. Just because I'm facing some challenges, I don't know where I'm going on my coaching business.
Ustaz Saud.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Good evening and عيدكم مبارك. كل عام وانتم بخير.
وانت بخير يا رب.
شكرا لك سهير على الجهد اللي تعمليه. الله يعطيك العافية. I chose number 3 and I think someone also chose it. I think it's May who also chose the same thing. Number 3, it shows a beautiful scenery. At the same time, it shows the steps which reflect the growth that we need to go step by step, not only in our credentials, but also in developing our coaching skills. So if we want to have maybe a full spectrum and a holistic approach of this one, we need to go step by step to develop. And part of it is this attending this session to understand more about the coaching competencies. So it's number 3. Thank you.
You're welcome. And of course, there is no right and wrong. And of course, you can see the same picture, 3 or 4 people would see it totally differently, and there is no right and wrong. Okay, so we will take one last participant, Mina Samir.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, Mina.
I would choose number 15.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I see a bus and a way, and there is a different word there that I don't know, and I need to cover like the sky, the sea. It seems to be narrow road, but I don't know. I feel like I need to discover more and more.
Okay.
May help me for growth.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the remaining, because of the time, so we need to move forward, but you can write in the chat. Okay. Please write in the chat if I didn't call you to speak in the mic, but you raised your hand. So please write in the chat. Okay. So now that you have some vision on how you see your coaching journey, okay? If I ask you, let's look here. What is growing, harmonious, going well in your coaching practice? You can write it down. Please write it down. In your papers, now reflect. I will give you 1 minute to think about this question.
Can you repeat the question, Suhair?
What is growing in your coaching practice? In your you have now imagined your coaching journey. What is growing? What is going well? What is harmonious in your coaching practice? And think of the competencies. Now, what do you need more of in your coaching practice as a coach? What do you need more of? What new things you need to try or to discover in your coaching practice as a coach? What new things you need to try or discover? What do you need to cut back on or get rid of? ما الذي تحتاج أن تقلل منه أو تتخلص منه؟ What do you need to cut back on or to get rid of as a coach? Please write it on a paper. Write your answers on a paper. You don't need to share on the chat right now. What risks do you need to watch out for as a coach in your coaching practice? What risks do you need to watch out for? إيش المخاطر اللي أنت لازم تحذر منها؟ Do you want me to ask the questions again, to repeat the questions? What is going well? What is blooming? In other words, إيش اللي مزهر اللي أنت شايفه مزهر في مهنتك ككوتش؟ إيش اللي أنت محتاج تنميه أكتر؟ What do you need more of? إيش اللي أنت محتاج إن أنت تجربه وتستكشفه أكثر؟ What do you need? What things do you need to try? Or maybe discoveries to find? What do you need to cut back on or to get rid of? إيش اللي محتاج تخلص منه أو تقلل منه؟ Disease. What are the risks that you need to watch out for? ما المخاطر التي عليك أن تحذر منها? Did you get your answers? If you don't have an answer, it's okay. You don't have to have an answer for everything. Maybe write the question down and maybe reflect on it later after the session. Think about it. Some answers might not pop into your mind right now. Okay? But just write it down and think about it later. Write 1 in the chat if you are ready. You need more time, guys. Okay. Okay. Who's still writing? You need more time? Okay. My next question to you guys. Read what you have written and what is the awareness you are getting out of this exercise? Write it down. What did you learn about yourself from this exercise? إيش اللي اكتشفته عن نفسك في هذا التمرين؟ إيش الوعي اللي أنت اكتشفته من وراء هذا التمرين؟ Write it down. اكتب. Write it down in your paper. If I ask you, how will you use this new learning in your coaching practice? How will you use this new learning in your coaching practice? كيف راح تستخدم اللي اكتشفته هالحين أو اللي عرفته عن نفسك الآن في ممارسة الكوتشنج حقتك؟ I'm reading the chat and I like what I'm reading. كيف أكون أكثر توازن، المرونة, flexibility, the dark side of my strengths in Gallup, an area I need to develop. Openness. Okay. So, what are the actions you are going to do after this session? Actions. How many actions? 1, 2, 3. Yes. What are these actions? إيش الخطوات؟ إيش هم الخطوات اللي راح تتخذوها بعد هاي السيشن؟ أفكار جديدة, new ideas. What are they? This is a good question. What resources or support do you need to take these actions? إيش الموارد أو الدعم اللي تحتاجه علشان تنفذ هذه الخطوات أو الإجراءات؟ What resources or support do you need to take these actions? Encouraging myself. You! Thank you, Mohammed. Yeah. Know my strengths and activate them. Okay. Encourage myself to work on some points. Okay. I love your answers, guys. Practice more. Ask more open questions. Yeah. Now. Sharpen definition of my niche area of coaching very senior executive or business leaders. Use my link and connects for LinkedIn connects for winning executive coaching opportunities have been socially very inert so far stretch beyond India. Okay. What is the best method to hold you or hold yourself accountable for the actions you just said that you're gonna do? Communicate with the people who reach the same goal. Okay. What is the best method that works for you to hold yourself accountable? إيش الطرق اللي مناسبة لك علشان تلتزم في كلمتك وتتحمل مسؤولية الكلام اللي انت كتبته الحين في الشات أو على الورقة وتقول لي أنا نفذت؟ إنه أنت نفذت، تكون قد كلمتك يعني بالعربي. أبدأ فورا. فورا. أبدأ فورا. What is the first step when you say I will start immediately? What would be the first step? Pause. Commit to my partner. Okay. When? Write it as a smart goal. That's why I said when. Without a when, without a time, it's not a smart goal. When are you gonna do it? أخذ الاعتماد أولاً. What is the first step you're gonna do to get your accreditation? What resources, what support do you need? Okay. Okay, I'm done with my questions. So it's time to reflect. Would you like to take a minute to read and reflect on this exercise? Who wants to share? Who wants to share? You can raise your hand. Ah, thank you, MG. Thank you. Who wants to share? Okay, MG. Okay.
I can't believe
MG?
it. It's such a short time. I mean, I am also a PCC. I've done this for my certification, but this using metaphors and pictures and using it for sharpening self-awareness is fantastic. I mean, I'm definitely going to try and do this. And thank you, first of all. And
you are welcome. I stopped screen sharing because when you mentioned where is it? When you mentioned the metaphors and using the pictures, actually, I'm going to share with you this is called retrospective. Okay. And it is free to download and free to use. I'm going to share it with you guys. Okay.
yep.
It is called Scrum Adventures. And what I did right now, what exercise we just did right now, how is it related to our competency today? Okay. I just shared with you the website where I got this this from. Okay. Now,
thank you.
You are most welcome. Now, back to our exercise. When we are talking about facilitating growth, I did a demonstration on you guys as coaches to reflect on your coaching journey. Actually, you can use this with your client, either individual or a group. Okay. If we go back to the competencies, did I meet the competency, the 8 competency or not? When we look at it, let's take the points that represent this competency. Okay. Number 1, works with the client to integrate new awareness, insight, or learning into their worldview and behaviors. Did I meet this point or not? Now you are coaches.
Yep.
Did I cover this? Works with the client to integrate new awarenesses. Did you get a new awareness or not?
Yes.
You did, right? Insight or learning into their worldview and behaviors. Just by simple questions I asked. Okay, second one. Partners with the client to design goals, actions, and accountability measures that integrate and expand new learning. Did I meet this point or not? Now you are my mentors. When I did what I did, when I asked you the questions, did we meet this point or not? Yes, 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 definitely.
I would say partially, because I'm not sure about the goals that I have set for myself. So if you have partnered me, you probably got me to do it, but did you partner me? Don't know.
We said, MG, that nobody is like 100% gonna cover all the competencies. Okay,
Yeah.
and this is a demo on if you are doing like face-to-face, one-on-one, I will definitely go deeper. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm just like scratching the surface here.
Yeah, got it.
Right? Yeah, but
May-
it's met. Right? Okay. Number 3 in this competency. Acknowledges and supports clients' autonomy in the design of goals, actions, and method of accountability. Met or not met?
Yep, met.
Right? Supports the client in identifying potential results or learning from identified action steps. Met or not met?
Again, I'm not sure here. Maybe if you're done one-on-one with me, you would have definitely met, but with a group, maybe iffy.
Of course. Okay. But I asked you to, what do you want, where the question was, what do you want more of?
Yeah.
And the
From
road.
that point of view, yeah, supporting the client, yeah, I agree with you.
Yes. Okay. Identified, learning from identified action steps. I asked the question, I didn't know what you answered, so I didn't go deeper. Invites a client to consider how to move forward, including resources, support, and potential barriers.
Yes.
Met. Partners with the client to summarize learning and insight within or between sessions. I didn't ask you what you're, I did ask you, what are you gonna do next? Yeah, I did ask you, what are you gonna do after this session? What are you gonna do after we finish with this session? Right? Celebrate the client's progress and success. Here, I'm gonna stop because I didn't cover this competency, because celebrating the client progress and success is kind of tricky. Okay, when we celebrate the client's progress and success, it doesn't mean cheerleading. Yay, I'm proud of you, you did really well, la, la, la. No. Okay, that's not celebrating. And you don't celebrate the person by saying, you're amazing, you are awesome, you are beautiful. No, you don't celebrate the person. What you celebrate is the learning, acknowledging the learning, and acknowledging the progress. And I did that when I read the chat. And I said, I like what I'm reading. And I gave some encouragement. I gave acknowledgement. With that, celebrating. Okay. Some schools, they say, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't celebrate the client, not the client. You cannot celebrate the client, but acknowledge the learning, acknowledge the progress. Okay, but don't use cliches. When you say, when I ask, for example, when someone said something here when we were and I gave them a feedback. Can you send us the pictures? Actually, I'm sorry, the pictures are copyrighted. The roads are copyrighted. I bought these, but you can get them from some, you can buy them from iReflect. I will give you it is Samira Ali Baba's website. I will give you her site. She has some free tools, and there are some paid. So you can, I will give you Samira's website, and you can go there and buy these tools or use the free ones. Okay, so are we clear on what is celebrating? Do you have any questions here?
I have a question, Suhair.
Hmm.
Sometimes when a coach compliments a coachee,
yes,
so I get a doubt when I do that sometimes, whether I'm doing it right. Am I doing it because it gives me happiness, or is it giving the client happiness, and why am I doing it? See, I would rather allow the client to celebrate and ask him how does he feel about it, rather than saying that, well done, good job, that's amazing insight, etc.
Yeah, we don't say that's amazing, well done.
Yeah.
We acknowledge the progress and the learning.
Correct.
Okay. When they said, for example, let's say a client came to you, we usually use the poker face when we are doing in the session, right? Imagine a client came to you in the middle of the session and says, MG, can you imagine our last session? I said I will do 1, 2, 3. Actually, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you go,
Wow,
okay.
great.
No, you went, okay. How would that client feel?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
See that.
And on the extreme, when you go, that's no. You know, you match the energy, but don't exaggerate.
Correct.
Okay. And you compliment and acknowledge the learning and the progress. And you would say, that's a great progress. You made a great progress. Remember when we first met, these were like you said that if you achieve this, or if you reach 3, you will be like, you will feel this and that. Now you reach 5. How does that make you feel? Where do you want to go next? We made a great progress. Okay, that's a great learning. Okay, I didn't compliment him or her. I didn't give compliment to the client. This is awesome. You are great. You are beautiful. No, I complimented the actions. I compliment the learning, the progress. This is what you did is great. What you did is awesome. Okay, so what do we need to do? Where do we need to go next? How does that make you feel? Actually, I'm not a very I'm not very fond of how does that make you feel question. Because usually when people, when you ask, how does that make you feel? They will go, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I usually avoid this question. I will ask much deeper question. Now that you are here, what is next for you? That's great achievement. You know? Is this recording? Yes, it is recorded and it will be shared on our ICF YouTube channel, the Saudi chapter. Okay. Ibrahim, say, so Ustaz Saud, Ibrahim, let's say Ustaz Saud first, you raised your hand. So Ustaz Saud, go ahead. ولا انت رافع من بدري أستاذ سعود؟
لا معلش اعتذر، بس انا كنت من اول لكن نسيت انزل يدي فاعتذر منكم.
Okay.
معلش سوري.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Two things, Suhair. One thing is that I would like to compliment you for this great exercises, and it gives really excellent awarenesses. One of the suggestions, maybe maybe it's good or not, but you need to evaluate it, which is if you use one-to-one with one of us as clients, and the others are watching, maybe that would give more insight because of the questions because of the dialogue between you and the client, and the others could commit later on.
Yeah, thank you, Ibrahim. That's a good point, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do one-on-one because I want you all to reflect. I want you all to feel it, to feel the growth. Okay.
I think that could be done also as you are dialoguing with the one client, the other could also reflect. I love this because I attended more than one mentoring session, and this is the way that they were doing, and it was very, very exciting because others will be as mentors actually, as well as they will reflect at the same time, and then they will be as mentors.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I don't know what's when you said when you ask a question about when somebody comes and he did well and did extra, you said you are not with the asking a question. How would that feel? How would you feel about that?
Yeah, because if someone is going, yeah, this is a good thing, and you will go, how does that make you feel? He's already excited. He's already happy. I can see that you are excited. I would say that.
Okay.
I can see that you are excited. I can see the energy. Okay. So how can we use this energy now for the next step?
Okay, that's excellent. That's excellent. That's what I mean. And also either how are you, or how would you maintain that energy through all our coaching journey?
That's the next question. How would you like to close this session? That is my next question to you. Usually, we ask this. How would you like to close this session today? Usually, don't assume. Not usually, always. Don't assume. Ask the client. Okay? Ask the client. What do you want to do? How would you like to end this session? What do you want us to work on now that you achieved this goal, these goals? Okay, what do you want? What is the next step want to be? What do you want the next step to be? Okay. And my question to you guys, how do you want me to end this question, to end this session today? I gave you I sent you Samira Alibaba's resources, free resources webpage. I used one of the paid, iReflect. I used one of the Rhodes is, it's paid. I already purchased it from her. She has a lot of amazing tools that you can use. So my question to you now, did I help you today to reach your goal of today's session? And in what way do you want us to end today's session? Come on.
Because we don't want to end the session.
Me too. I don't want to end it too. So we can have like a Q&A. We can have, what else? What is in your mind? Let's reflect. How did today's session? Absolutely, MG. That would be my pleasure. That would be my pleasure. Okay. I said I'm gonna give you my phone number, 580424444. That's my phone number with WhatsApp. Please feel free to contact me. Mail. That's my email. And LinkedIn. I think I copied it from somewhere. No. Okay. You can, of course, we can continue. I can. Yes. Yes. When I connected all the competencies with practical practice, it made it easier for you. So when I asked you to play the role of the client, you are my clients, and I asked you all these questions, and now when you were my clients, okay? Yes. Thank you, Salam. And as we said, you're not gonna meet everything in the competencies, not all the competencies. And speaking of competencies, I said I'm gonna share the competencies with you. It's okay if you miss one or two, but it's not okay to miss all of them. It's not okay to guide. It's not okay to enforce your opinion as a coach. It's not okay to be all about you as a coach. It's not about you. And always remember that you cannot like know everything. There is always someone who knows better than you. Okay. And always, as coaches, we need to grow. I have a question, Suhair. Yes, please. Yes, please.
السلام عليكم سهير and everyone. أنا عندي سؤال معلش يمكن يكون عندي الجواب عليه بس I need to share it with everyone. I would like to hear the responses of you and everyone else. Sometimes, يعني speaking of facilitating growth, sometimes you would have a client that whatever you ask him, they would say, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. So how do you drive this into client growth? You want to make the opportunity of him not knowing to drive it into client's growth. شو ممكن تسأليه لحتى هو يستفيد أو you want to facilitate client's growth. So what is your answer?
What did I do today? I used metaphors. I used tools because I always say that. When you ask, sometimes when you ask a person, how do you feel? What do you think? And they will go, I don't know. But when you show them a tool, when you show them images, they will start talking. They will start imagining. You remember for the first thing I did was show you the roads. Imagine your coaching journey. I took you step by step. Before I started asking the questions. How do you imagine your coaching journey? How do you see your coaching journey? Each one of you had different perspective. And then when I started asking the questions, some of you said, if I don't know the answer, one of you or two of you said, what if I don't know an answer to one of the questions? That is fine. You don't have to know all the questions, but at least there is some awareness. Okay, so sometimes direct questions, it feels like interrogation. We're not here to interrogate the client. You are here to dig deep. Why he's feeling this? Why, where is he going? Where is he going with this? Sometimes direct questions, he would say, I don't know, because he could ask these questions to himself or herself. But using metaphors, using tools, they will make them see the point from this different perspectives. Does anybody else has other opinions?
Yeah, I
Yes,
agree
sir.
with you, Suhair. I also tried similar metaphors and pictures and sometimes visualization as well. Like,
Yes.
how would you, if you meet yourself 4 years from now, how is that person looking to you? Now, that kind of a thing makes that person become more creative within himself or herself. It doesn't challenge them. Like, as you said, we don't want to be asking interrogating questions. That's not our purpose, right? We want the client to speak a lot more about himself or herself, feelings, actions, thoughts, and things like that. I find visualization one tool which is very good for when a client becomes a little less talkative, like, it makes him feel good about seeing himself in the mirror.
Or maybe sometimes given enough time to think might help a client, because they immediately say that I don't know. But I generally say that I heard lots of times that the client said I don't know, but I haven't seen anyone psychologically I haven't seen anyone that really don't know. When I say this, they say that okay, because in the beginning I said that I know that you have all your answers. So when they have enough time, they generally find the right answer for them. So I think it might be, but sometimes if a client in corporate world, especially if a client doesn't want to come a coaching session willingly, they might say that, okay, I don't know, because they don't want to go on. Sometimes, but this is my opinion. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. And as you said, silence and pauses. Every time in every session, we emphasize on silence and pauses, the use of silence and pauses. It is one of the most important tools a coach could use. What is the difference between a silence and a pause? Anybody? Difference between silence and pauses. Go, Ghada.
Yeah, so بالنسبة لموضوع الصمت هو ما هو صمت يعني يحدث بشكل انك انت تقول انا حصمت الان وشوف ايش يصير، لا، هو صمت انت تستخدم ذاتك، تستخدم قدرتك على الدخول في داخل عقلك للتأمل فيما يحدث انت فيك انت، واثر السؤال اللي سألته، اثر ردود الفعل الغير لفظية اللي ظهرت على المستفيد، وكيف بيستقبل صورتك وكلامك، ويطلع معك حاجة تشعر انت فيها، فتقرر. وهي طبعا اللحظة ممكن تاخذ دقائق، يعني إذا أنت عملت استخدام ذاتك كأداة وقدرت إنك تركز على نفسك في اللحظة اللي هو بيفكر فيها في الإجابة، الوقت هذا اللي أنت تشعر إنه طويل وأنت لازم أقول شيء وأنت لازم استنى وأنت مش عارف إيه وتقلق إنك أنت سألت السؤال الصح ويمكن هو ما عنده إجابة، لا هو عنده إجابة. ما في أحد ما بينسأل سؤال وبتطلع له عشرات الصور في ذهنه وعشرات الأفكار وعشرات المخاوف وعشرات الترددات، يعني يتردد، لكن أنت اللي شايفه إنه هو مو عارف. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm speaking in Arabic. I'm sorry, there is English speaker here. So
I was waiting for you just to finish to translate.
Yeah. It's called using yourself as an instrument, which means when someone doesn't know what to say and feels like confused, that's what you think, because you're programmed to think that people, when they don't answer, they're confused. This is how in school we were programmed. When the teacher asks us question and the student doesn't answer, we think the student is stupid. He doesn't know. No, the student knows everything, but maybe they're experiencing different emotions that's going through their mind. So the best approach for you as a coach is to reflect yourself on yourself and sense what you feel in the moment, what's coming up for you, what's your thoughts, what's your emotions, what is worrying you, what's happening inside you, why are you panicking, why are you so worried about the silence of that person that they said I don't know. Just say and keep thinking and let it happen for 5-10 minutes. Don't worry about the time. In that moment, الطويلة هذه, a long moment that you feel like you're suffocating, this is when you learn about yourself and about what's panicking you, and then you can share. You can share that with the client. I hope that's helpful, using yourself as an instrument. I just wrote an article on that if you want to check it. How do you use yourself as an instrument? This is like higher level of coaching.
Yeah.
Hopefully
but what is the difference between silence and a pause?
Can I go?
Yes, MG. Come on.
I think pause is a deliberate action by the coach to allow time for the client to reflect. Either when I speak or the client speaks, deliberately introducing a pause is using silence itself as a tool, saying, wait a minute, I'm doing it deliberately. I'm giving a pause. He knows it and I know it that we are not talking. That is because I'm encouraging him to reflect. That is a pause. If neither people talk and neither people are thinking, that is, I think, silence. Okay, nobody knows what's going on. A pause is a active, actionable silence. I would put it that way.
From the coach point of view, silence is when the coachee is talking. Silence. You don't interrupt. You don't say anything. You don't go, okay, tamam, okay. Silence. When the coachee is talking, when the coachee is silent, you don't interrupt, you don't speak anything. A pause is after the client is done speaking. You don't go immediately tuck, 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 tuck with the questions. What did I do here? I paused. See the difference?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now this is a pause. See? Then I will go ask a question. Ismail Bakhash, you have a question? You see?
Yeah, no, it's okay. أولاً أشكرك جزاك الله خير يعني it's a very interesting.
You're welcome. You're most welcome.
I just want to add, reflect maybe what Isra said for Sitsuha's question is what if the client says I don't know? I tried to dig deep into what you don't know. Okay, tell me more about the things you don't know. Rather than trying to investigate or dig deep into making him knowing what he doesn't know could be a key question, a key answer in putting the path for himself. Because again, he needs to see exactly what he doesn't know. The answer could be there, might not be, but it could be there. So investing more into what he doesn't know could be a good tactic. Maybe it could be a good tactic.
There are a lot of questions you can ask if someone says, I don't know. Okay, like what would it look like if you knew the answer? For example, it depends on the context. What resources do you need to know the answer? What support do you need to get the answer? What does the answer look like? How does it feel if you knew the answer? There are a lot of questions. It depends on the question. If you don't want to use metaphors and visualization. Okay, so there are a lot of questions. Dig into the answer. Go deep into
maybe this is the right time when somebody says I don't know. Maybe that's the time to give a pause and wait for him to think a little more. Because after the client says I don't know, she's expecting some response from you as a coach.
Yeah.
The best way to respond is give him more time to think.
Yeah. Don't bombard them with questions. Don't. That's why I said pause.
Yep.
I'm just asking questions. I'm giving you ideas, but don't ask all these questions to the client at once. Of course, no. Okay. Yeah. I'm just giving you ideas.
Actually, for a coach, the pause is a little more nervous period because the coach is also thinking and it is impossible not to think, right? Whereas being silent when the client is speaking is probably a lot easier than after the client has finished speaking. So I think for me, pause is a little more difficult than silence.
Yeah. Ghada, would you like to, do you have something to add, Ghada? You're raising your hand. Ghada? I think she was raising her hand. Oh, she lowered her hand. Okay. Who's that? Yusra Saleh? Yes.
Yes, I would say pausing or silence moment. It gives the coach opportunity to to observe the client, and it's a chance for him to test his intuition and give it's an opportunity for him to give more questions, deep questions.
Yeah.
Especially when the coach observe the client's facial expressions, or if he's thinking of something, then a very deep and value questions will be shown in this moment.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you all for coming and for joining us. This is our last session in this series, but of course, there will be other topics, other series in the future. Please follow us in the Saudi chapter. If you're not following us on the Saudi chapter, please stay in touch. Even after this session, if you want to stay in touch with me, if you want to contact me, if you want to have one-on-one, if you want to continue our discussion, I will be more than happy to talk to you guys. Okay. Any more questions? And we want to thank, of course, Haitham for allowing us to use the ICF Zoom, and to you, Haitham, where are you? Haitham, you've been sending me messages. I didn't understand what you mean. So I'm really sorry, Haitham. He's been texting me something I didn't understand. So
no worry. You hear me well, Suhair?
Yeah. Yes, I hear.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry, I'm joining late for personal issue. I would like at the end of this series, as Suhair mentioned, first of all, my name is Haitham Al-Masri. I'm from the Saudi chapter board member. I'm responsible for the knowledge and the community. At the end of this series, I try to find some words to give a huge applause for Suhair for arranging these events. She shouldered everything related to managing, preparing, engaging, and supporting the speakers as well. So I guess we had a very good opportunity to thank you, Suhair, in front of all the members. Also, I would like to thank all the members for their commitment and spending time for continuous development. This is one of our aim in the chapter, and as you mentioned, we will build on this for the coming activity, definitely after ICW, inshallah. This is what I meant to share with you, Suhair, and the team. And thank you everyone for this.
Thank you, Haitham. Thank you, Haitham. Thank you so much. And I would love to have your feedback. You can text me in private if you like to give me like notes. Azra Sayed, you raised your hand. You want to say something?
Well, thank you for the great discussion, and I'm sorry I joined late because I miscalculated the time. I'm in Washington, D.C. I just had a quick question, like, what do you say when the client keeps saying, you tell me, what is your opinion, you tell me? And also, after you answer that, can you please let us know whether we'll get a copy of the slides and the recording?
Yeah. When the client keeps saying, you tell me, what do you think? I simply just reply with, remember, this is a coaching session. Okay, I'm not here to give you advice. So, and usually I would ask him, what do you think?
Yeah, that's what I asked.
What would you tell yourself? Or I would use the third, or empty chair or a third person tool. Imagine if someone is here is asking, and I would repeat what he just said. What would you say to this person? You know, use the third person or use an empty chair technique and remind the coachee that this is a coaching session. Remember, this is a coaching session. I'm not here to give you advice, you know, so you have to say this. Otherwise, they will, if you give them your advice, they will continue on
Mhm.
asking, and this will not be coaching. This is not coaching. Okay,
Mm.
you
Thank
have
you.
to be clear. You have to be clear and direct and reminding them what coaching is. Remind them what coaching is. Okay,
Thank
what
you.
do you think?
Thank you.
Just reflect. What do you think? What would you say to someone who just said dun 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 and rephrase what they just said to you? Just reflect it to them. Don't, and be honest. But be honest. This is coaching. This is not advising. And we agreed that this coaching is blah blah blah. Okay. I'm not here to advise. I cannot give you. You remember, you know what? And usually they will go, yeah. So here you are right. You know.
Thank you. That's very
You're
helpful.
most welcome. Thank you. Thank you for coming, Isra. Thank you for coming. Thank you everybody for joining us. And the recording will be on ICF Saudi chapter. And where is it? Oh yeah. Where is it? Yeah, and this session is for you will get a certificate. Haitham will send the certificates for 2 CCEs. Someone just sent the YouTube channel. I will send it in the chat again. I will look for it first. I'm sorry. When is the next session? I have no idea. We just came back from a vacation. I don't know. Haitham might ask me to do something. Okay, I'm gonna ask you this. What topics do you want us to cover next? What topics do you want us to cover next? We covered all.
Yes, can I say?
Yes.
Sometimes we face a difficult situation during the coaching session, like something it's not really fit your values, or such challenging, something that challenges your value a lot and big time, and I don't know if I can continue with the session, or I dismiss the session, or just discharge the contract. These are challenges that we face with the clients. I think it's nice to talk about it. Maybe we have to write like a list of challenges, and you pick 2 or 3 of them, and we open the discussion about it. If all agreed about these 2 topics, as a group coaching, group coaching.
Yeah, we can do that, but I can answer in just 2 or 4 words. It is not about you. 5 words. Always remember this. It's not about you. And when you are in a coaching session, you are an empty vessel. What does an empty vessel means? It means you are free of any emotions. If you get affected, if you get emotional, if you get like you feel like you are getting involved, or then this is not coaching. Okay. Either you refer the coach to the coachee to someone else. Okay. And you deal with your own emotions, and it comes by practice. You need a lot of practice to separate yourself as a Lina, your feelings, your values, from the coach, Lina the coach. When I'm sitting in a coaching session, I'm not Suhair. I'm not Suhair. I'm a coach. I'm not. It's not about me. It's not about my values. It's not about how I feel. It's not about anything about me. Okay. By experience, you will get the expertise to separate Suhair from the coach, for example, Lina from the coach, You're not Lena when you're a coach, when you're in a coaching session. You're an empty vessel. Okay. So it comes by practice. It took me a lot of time. It took me a lot of practice to separate myself.
You know, Seher, what happens for me? I get freezed. I cannot even think about any answers, especially if they are talking about homosexuality. So I get freezed. I cannot create any answer. I take time to just to ask a question or something. You know, that I know it's all about the client, but I get freezed.
You freeze, but sometimes it happens. That's normal. We are human after all. Okay. Take a pause. Take a pause. Okay, there's nothing wrong with taking a pause, but not a freeze out of shock.
No, not out of shock. Like I cannot ask a question.
That's okay. Sometimes when that happens, you can ask, what do you want me to ask you here?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Wallah, hello.
What do you want me to ask you here? What do you want to tell me? Sometimes I freeze. It happens. So where do you want to go next? What do you want to tell me? What do you want me to ask you here?
So I throw the ball in his.
Yeah. What do you want me to ask you? What would the next step be? What do you want us to do next? Sometimes I would go, so here, even me, I don't know how to explain this. Can we do one of your tools? You know, and I would go, yes, absolutely. Let's do one of the tools. And I would put pictures and images and let's explore what is going on. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. That's fine. We said there is no perfect session. Sometimes you end up with no questions. That's fine. Ask a client, what do you want to do next? I'm out of questions. Tell me what do you want to tell me? What do you want me to ask you? And they will start talking. And then you can continue or use one of the tools, use the images. There are a lot of things that you can do, but be honest. If you don't have a question, just say, honestly, I don't have a question here. I don't have a question here. What do you want to tell me?
I have to try it once.
Yeah. When you freeze, but don't panic. Don't go.
No, I don't go like that. Was like,
don't panic. Don't show the client that you are lost, that you don't know what to say. No, just smile and say, I'm out of questions. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to ask you? What would you ask? If you were the coach, what would you ask? Sometimes you just say it like that.
Mumkin. Thank you.
Yes. You're most welcome.
Suhair, sometimes, as you pointed out, it's okay to be vulnerable in front of a coach, coachee. It's okay to say that, look, I'm a little stumped. So what next? What do you want to say? I mean, a smile will be all okay here, and demonstrating vulnerability is not a bad thing at all.
Exactly. And actually, the coachee will trust you more, that you are human and you don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. Sometimes I don't even have questions for you. Okay, we're here to discover. Let's discover together. Let's do a tool. Let's do it. And then usually the client will go, we'll start talking about something and we'll come up with ideas. And sometimes it happened to me a lot of times. at the end of the session, I usually reflect. And at the end of the session, I would feel that the session went so bad. I would feel that I'm uncomfortable with the session. Okay. And I would ask the client about the awareness, what they are getting out of this session, and what do they want to do next. And I would get surprising answers. This session, Suhair, was amazing. Really, you made me realize this. And I will, in my mind, I'm going, really? For me, I felt that in my perspective, I felt that I didn't dig deep with the client. I could have done better, but the client would surprise me that it was so deep for them. So that's why I always say, it's not about you. It's not about you. That's why I always ask the client, how did it feel? How did it go? What awareness did you get out of this session? Yeah. And of course, I didn't go really. It was in my mind. Of course, I didn't tell him really. No, of course, I would go, just nod. When the client is speaking, just nod. Silence. Okay. And just keep your feelings to yourself. That's what I would say. Okay. Any other questions? We are taking, oh, it's 42. Already took 12 minutes over time. So sorry, Haitham. Any other questions? Any other questions before we leave? Any feedback, any suggestions? Please, 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 please. Haitham shared our Instagram, shared our LinkedIn. I shared the YouTube channel. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you came up with any topics, please contact me. If you want to have one-on-one mentoring session, if you want to continue discussion on a personal level or one-to-one level, I'll be more than happy to do it for free, of course. One session for free. Okay. Okay. Thank you all for coming. It was lovely. The coach role in the community. Yes, the coach role in the community. Haitham, the coach role in the community. This is a really good topic. Coach role in the community. This is what we've been trying to do as a topic. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming, and thank you for your time. And thank you, David. Thank you, Nisreen. Thank you, Banan. Oh, thank you, Banan. See you all. Bye-bye. Bye.